Now we're going to divide by complex numbers a plus bi. First example, 5 minus 2i divided by 25 plus 5i. Now don't forget, our answer has to be in the form a plus bi. Alright, I mean a or the b could be 0, but it has to be in that form. So we're going to multiply by the conjugate of the bottom over the conjugate of the bottom. Let me write that. Conjugate over conjugate. Now remember, it's the conjugate of the bottom over itself. So look at the bottom, 2 plus 5i. We're going to multiply by 2 minus 5i over itself, and that's what we do here. We multiply the top by 2 minus 5i and the bottom by 2 minus 5i. Now on the top we have to FOIL. First times first, outer times outer, inner times inner, last times last. Ooh, be very careful with that guy. That guy is -1, don't forget. Now the bottom's easier because we can use the formula a plus b times a minus b equals a squared minus b squared. So it's 2 squared minus 5 times I parenthesis squared, which becomes 4 minus 25i squared. There's that guy again. That I squared has to be changed to -1. I already changed it up here. I have to change it down below too. So down below I have 4 minus 25 times -1, which is -25 times -1 makes a positive 25. 4 plus 25, so I get 29 on the bottom. What do I get on the top? 10 minus 10, they cancel, minus 29i. I can factor and cancel. I can just cancel a factor of 29 on the top and bottom, and the answer is -I. Scroll down to B. 4 plus 3i over 7i. Now, you're saying, why didn't you multiply by 7i over 7i instead of I over I? Well, remember, the whole purpose is to get that I out of the denominator, out of the bottom. And we're going to do that by changing it so it is equal to the square root of -1 squared. In other words, we're going to multiply it by I and we'll get -1. All right, so whenever there's a single term on the bottom, only one term, nothing separated by plus or minus sign, and that term has an I in it, you multiply the top and bottom simply by I. And that's what we do here. Multiply across the top by I, 4i plus 3i squared. Change that to -1. And on the bottom, 7i times I is 7i squared. Change that to -1. So we get over here 4i minus 3 over -7. No more i's in the bottom, which is great. That's what we wanted. Now we have to get it in proper a plus bi form. So it's, now be careful. This is a fraction, and we can decompose it across the top over the common denominator, -7. Now it doesn't work the other way, upside down. It only works that you can break the top apart, but every term that you break apart has to be over this common denominator, -7. So we have 4 over -7 times I minus 3 over -7, which simplifies to -4/7 I minus a minus. I just brought that minus upstairs. A double negative is a plus, so we have -4/7 I plus 3/7. And finally, here I write in standard A plus bi form. A is 3/7 minus 4/7 times I. You have to be careful with your answer. You have to have the real part in the front and then the imaginary part in the back of the A plus B times I form.